I'm going to teach you now the introduction to HTML. What is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language is not actually a programming language itself, but is a markup language. With this language, you'll be able to build even a simple website. Now, these are the codes that define the hypertext web page. That's the code. It starts with doc type. Doc type, this one is just to tell you that the document type is HTML. Then you have the HTML itself, which is the first element of the code, the HTML code. And then you have the head. The head, this is where the meta, this is where all the properties, the meta, how you want for instance, how you want your web page to appear in every system, like in the laptop, like in the desktop, like in your phone. This is where it is defined. It is defined at the head level, and also at the head level we have also what we call the title. The title is defined also in this place. But interestingly, everything that is here will not be displayed on your web page. Then you have the body. The body is the main part of your web page. Now in the body, you have the body. This is the opening tag of the body. The opening tag of the body. And then the body is made up of heading and the paragraph. Heading and the paragraph. Heading talks about the heading of every article, every content, the heading. And then the paragraph talks about the paragraphs, as we all know. Now the heading could be up to 6. We have up to 6 heading. We have heading 1, we have heading 2, we have heading 3, up to 6 heading. And then now you have the closing body tag and then the closing HTML tag. Now what you have here is what defines every HTML web page. Now if you run this code now in your system, in your browser, let's say your Firefox browser or your Chrome browser, you will discover, you will see this. To only read, you will see this is the heading, this is the paragraph, this is what is going to appear. Now if anything is missing here, let's say this is missing, and then you pass through you enter this into your browser, you discover there will be an error display. There will be an error, or the browser will not display anything, because for your web browser to interpret what you have written, all these things must be in place. So this is just a rundown, the elementary, the basics of every HTML web page. It starts with the doc type, then you have the HTML, which is the opening tag, then we have the head, and then you have the closing head. This is the closing head. The closing head, I told you that it is in this place you define the meta element. Some we talked about the viewport, which also talk about the initial scale, and then at the body, the contents appears in the body. The body made up of 2 major elements: the head and the paragraph. And then you must close the body with the closing tag, and then before you have the HTML. Now close the entire web page with your HTML closing tag. This is the code that defines every HTML web page. In our next broadcast, we are going to enlighten more on it. We're going to go further to show you more things about HTML. But our intention, our focus is to teach you, enlighten you, to make you understand everything about HTML, and then we'll now go further to teach you how to build a web page, how to build a website using the HTML plus CSS and the JavaScript. In the next lecture, I will tell you what CSS and JavaScript is all about. Thank you very much.